Hello, I'm Rex Basterfield and I'd like to welcome you to a video about my Quilcom SIM-MIJWIZ. The SIM-MIJWIZ uses no samples. It's a synthesizer designed to simulate the sound of this remarkable and very ancient Egyptian instrument. A Mijwiz consists of two identical tubes, which are excited by reeds cut into bamboo directly. Mijwizes vary tremendously in terms of size, design, bore of tube, how many tone holes they have, the spacing of them, the position on the tube, and so on. Because there seems to be no definitive design or specification for a Mijwiz, I've provided quite a few options so you can set the sound up and the tuning to suit the purpose that you have in mind. Because it's very similar to a Mijwiz, I've provided the option to switch over to an Arghul, and this is the same type of construction, except you'll see there's no tone holes in this tube because that is sounded as a drone, a little bit like bagpipes, and you can slide extra lengths into the pipe 2, the drone, to lower the pitch and to set it to a value that suits the music. As is normally the case, there's lots of information in the background info folder and lots more information in the user guide about the Mijwiz and Arghul. The synthesizer responds to notes from middle C up to B, including the black notes. The synthesizer model provides for simulating a 6-hole Mijwiz, which gives you 7 notes, and these knobs along the top here, they tune the white notes. So if I just play a D, that enables you to tune each of the 7 notes individually to create the kind of scale that you would like to hear. Of course, you need only use the first 4 notes if you want to simulate a 4-hole Mijwiz, and each of these tunings go plus or minus 2 semitones, so that gives you a very wide range of possibilities for tuning. If you press the reset button, it reverts to equal temperament tuning, and you can play so-called Arabic sounding scales in the normal way. Now, to play a Mijwiz, you cover 2 holes which are in parallel at the same time to get the pitch you want. But if you look carefully, you will see that the holes don't line up exactly, and the reeds cut into the bamboo are slightly different. This means very often you get beating when you cover 2 holes. So we have the option of setting pipe 2 beating here, which sets the difference in pitch between any 2 pairs of holes. So the main pitch is taken from the pipe 1 tuning over to pipe 2, and then we can set beating on these knobs. So if I press a D, we can adjust the beating, and of course we can reset all these knobs at once to remove any beating sounds. So now I'll come on to the settings which affect the actual timbre of the instrument. As I mentioned before, the sound of these instruments can vary quite widely depending on the construction And an important element is the way the reeds are made. So I've created 9 reed-like waveforms that you can select from to choose one that you like, either thinner nasal or more full-bodied. So you select those with this control here. Now, it's usually the case that the timbre can vary as you play up and down the scale for various physical reasons. So to simulate that, I've provided this coloration set of controls. This uses a comb filter system, so you can emphasize certain harmonics more than others, and the frequency control sets the base frequency above which this happens. The resonance sets the height of the peaks and troughs in the spectrum, and the mix blends between the unfiltered sound and the fully filtered sound. Finally, for the timbre, we have low cut and high cut to provide a measure of equalization. So when we switch from Mijwiz to Arghul, we have a different system for pipe 2 because this is a fixed pitch drone. So these 3 tuning controls set the offset, the bass pitch of the instrument being set on the pitch panel, and here we can set, for instance, 1 octave down, 2 semitones up to match the tonic note, which here would be D. On all the videos I watched of Arghul's being played, the drone pipe sounded at a lower volume than the melody pipe, so I provided a level control. Now, if you want the sound of a single reed pipe, like a Sipsi, then you would select Arghul and turn the level down to minimum so you don't hear the drone sound. Now, the other 2 controls worth talking about briefly are on the pitch panel. There is a range control, which it compresses or expands the pitch range above middle C. So if I reset this to 0 and then play 2 notes, and if you double click it, set it to 1.00, then the incoming pitch range to the synthesizer is equal temperament. Now, some very skilled players will lift one finger slightly off a hole to increase the beating as a form of expression. So if you set the bend P2 to 1, then both tubes will bend at the same amount. But if you set it to, say, halfway, then they will bend it, pitch 2 will bend at a different rate to pitch 1 to give this beating effect, which varies with the pitch bend. Of course, if you're going to simulate an Arghul, you would set bend to P2 to 0 because you can't bend the pitch of a drone pipe. So that's the Quilcom SIM-MIJWIZ, and maybe you'll find a use for it if you want to create some synthesized Arabic sounding stuff. And I'm going to play you out with a minute's worth of my terrible music, which I made on the Arghul setting. So until the next time, bye.